just share a bit about myself. You get to know me, I know you have a profile and you've heard a number of their words and international journeys, the community paths, and daily initiatives. That's young boy, a teenage 40-year-old boy who was homeless and was at the mercy of cultists at several garages and bigger bus stops in Daly City, Edo State, looking for hope. I'm very thankful to God for where I've become today. I'm thankful to connections, to people who are positioned strategically to help shape our lives. I'll be speaking to you on giving height into the realm of possibilities. The next slide, please. My journey of a homeless street boy, now leading big initiatives, traveling internationally and impacting communities, I'll be sharing shortly. But the first thing I'd like you to think about is the concept of possibility. Why is it essential for growth? When you ask yourself, can I or can I not? What comes to your mind first? What are the factors that determine you being positive about whatever you choose to achieve? There was a moment in my life when I never thought that I was ever traveling across different countries and leading initiatives. And that was because of my background, my circumstances, and the limitations that surrounded my life. Like I said earlier, at 14 I was homeless for 3 months. I was sleeping in where you walk locally. They call it 2K in Delhi. If you're about to go to Delhi or and I had no home. I wasn't in school. So, how did I become who I am today? Next slide, please. The power of perspectives and how you can gain height into the world of possibility. The first thing is to desire possibility. Have you ever thought about a thing and you have some limited set out in your mind? How can it ever be? When I was very young, while on the streets, I had a dream that I was traveling to the United States. So I spoke to my cousins, and I'm like, I'm going to a place where when God is coming, He's going to see me first. Because I was such a daft. And I thought that when God comes, He's going to lead people in the United States before He goes to Africa. And so, this was my thoughts. I spent a number of years struggling to make calculus because I read engineering, to make calculus work because I've been to about 4 different secondary schools. And so what comes to your mind first of all when you think whether a thing is achievable or not? And I'd like to share with you the power of perspective and steps into gaining such height. Next time. Now, perspective is not just necessarily about setting goals and setting heights. Sometimes you write them down. We are getting to the end of the year, and a number of persons are going to write what we call my New Year resolutions. Perspective is actually seeing beyond your limitations. Perspective is actually seeing beyond your immediate environment. Perspective is actually your dream. And I'm sharing some few steps in helping you to really gain height into your world of possibilities. I used to think that only people from rich family, people with the right connections or big organizations could create social change. But my story has changed that today. Next slide, please. There are 5 actionable steps that will help you gain height in your life, and these have really helped me a lot. Next slide. Step 1, shifting from a feast to a growth mindset. You've got to be flexible in your thinking. We are all products of religion and education. What you know today is what you were told, and it is not what truly defines you. I am the one who can truly define who I am. And every time you must take a moment to reflect, who are you? Last night I had the privilege of having a dinner at the US Consulate in Lagos, and I came there this morning. And the person that was surrounding our dinner was, who am I? We're so busy with academics, busy with work, busy with life, and we never take a moment to reflect the power that we have. We never take a moment to reflect who we truly are. And so it's necessary for you to, first of all, shift your mind from being a very fixed and rigid person to having a very flexible mindset. Having a what if thinking outside of the box? I mean, you said this could be this. What if we look at it from another perspective? And so our setbacks prepare us for what we are truly capable of achieving. And when you have a growth mindset, you are sure to make possible everything that is not possible to you. Next slide. Step number 2, building resilience and rising above setbacks. In all of my journey, I've received several no than a yes. And I'm a fighter because of my background. I never take no for what it is. When people look at me and say, why taking and talking like that? You can't do that because of your family background or because of your educational background. I say to them, this is exactly what you know about me, but it is not what I think about myself. So it is important to understand what resilience is about. Resilience is not just about bouncing back. Resilience is about learning from that bouncing back. Resilience is about growing through all of those bounce backs that you've ever had. So there are a number of proposals that are written, a number of applications that are written. My successful applications are few, very, very few, compared to all of those applications that I didn't get a call or a response email. Next slide. Networking and partnerships. I've led a number of global initiatives. In Osun State here, I started what we call the ICT Club. In 2012, I served here in Osun State, and I was a mathematics teacher at Osun Grammar School. Anyway, that was not me to Osun State. And the first thing I discovered about Osun State was the fact that students in secondary school, I was coming from Lagos, and students in secondary school could not understand what a computer system is. And then I took it upon myself to start an initiative called ICT Club. If you ever heard about ICT Club in Osun Grammar School, I started that initiative and I started teaching practical computer for free. But that would have been possible if not that I got the partnership of my school, my mathematics teacher, and a few friends around. So I looked out for friends who had laptops, and I collaborated with them, and they brought their laptop to school, and they were helping me to facilitate ICT Club. Now, in 2015, the United States of America, through President Obama, was so fascinated at what I was doing that I was selected among the first cohort of the Young African Leaders Initiative, what you now know as YALI. There are several cohorts, and I think our last speaker was from cohort 49. And then that took me to a place called, Ipa in Ghana, and that brought me into another level of partnership and networking. And it was at there I first saw a young girl who was 18, who was doing so much to impact other young girls in our community in Ghana. And I was already, I think, 28 as at then. And I'm like, if this young girl at 18 could do such, what am I doing to create a change in my own community? If we all keep complaining that we cannot or we cannot, then the generation coming in have more reasons to relax and say the generations before, who are we? And so I came back and I started what we call the Osun Tech Life Bootcamp. So I go around Osun State to organize competitions, and then I will bring them together during the holiday to teach them coding programs, to teach them robotics, and to teach them designs. And all from there, we got into diverse partnership. And then we got into partnership with Oracle, we got into partnership with IBM, and that elevated our status again and gave us more strength to carry out more impactful projects. So the top point I'm sharing is networking and partnership. You really can't do it alone. The things you can achieve are quite little, but if you join forces with people, like-minded people, and people who are already doing the kind of things that you hope to achieve, all of my friends are far ahead of me. I don't make friends with people that are behind me. I make friends with people that are ahead of me. So I have friends in 50s, in 60s, in 70s who have used their youthful age meaningfully. And so I challenge you as well to look out for people who are doing things within your space and within your field that you want to delve into, and you will see how the power of possibilities helps you in that regard. Next slide. Step 4, the role of technology and innovation. You must learn how to tell your story very well. After this meeting, I will tell my story. Through telling my story on social media, I have been able to attract more partners, I've been able to attract more communities, professional communities, like you heard in my profile. Some time ago, members of the US Embassy visited Osun State and we were looking for people to volunteer and carry out project. And I went out with my whole strength to carry out project because it was a technologically inclined project. It's called Code Osun. If you ever heard of Code Osun, I volunteered to manage that project for us. And throughout, I did all of those projects without asking for a penny from them. So last year, I got an email. There are different exchange programs that you compete for. We have the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program, and we have the TEDxUniOsun, we have the AWE. But iYouth, it is called International Visitors Leadership Program, is the US Premium Professional Exchange Program. You don't compete for that. You don't apply for it. Only diplomats of the United States Embassy select who represent the country. And I was selected through an email to represent Nigeria on the leadership in the technological program in the United States on small business digitalization and cybersecurity. And that took me to about 5 different big cities in the United States. We went to FBI, we went to MasterCard, we went to Google. I mean, that's a whole lot of opportunities that you could do anything you want to do with. But how did that happen? Small partnerships, small collaborations, where you are. And when you keep doing those things, as little as they are, people are watching you, people are looking at you. It may not as big as what we do today. I run global brands today, I run global initiatives today, but I started with Osun ICT Club. And I remember when I started in those days, people said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm Osun." And there's a way you pronounce the Osun that makes you feel bad. Osun. I'm like, what is that? And that is to say that there are many distracting voices you will keep hearing, but you must be resolute and very resilient in what you want to achieve. All of my programs that people talk about globally today, I give credit to those small initiatives that I started doing here in Oshogo, because those were the things that define me. So it is very important that you engage the power of technology, especially social media, to first of all, research and look out for the things that you want to initiate or carry out, and also to tell your story. Next slide. See beyond limits. Now, a lot of young people have many reasons not to do anything. In fact, many young people now travel outside of the country because they're waiting Nigeria off. But I have people calling me from the United Kingdom keep saying Nigeria is one of the best places to be. And I don't know if you think about that. This is not a scam statement, as people say, "Oh, you're preaching scam." It is not scam. Because the darker place is where your light can truly shine. You don't take your light to a place where there are already lights. If you truly want to shine, you should look at for the most darkest parts of the continent to shine. And the small things you do in the communities around here are massive when you speak about them to people in developed countries. Every time I talk about the small initiatives we're carrying out in the show, you're like, "What? You did that?" The first time I was interviewed by President Barack, and I said, "We're simply doing ICT Club in public secondary schools because we're just bringing that gap." And they're like, "Who pays you for that?" And I'm like, "We just pay volunteers and we pay ourselves for doing that." You know, they were so fascinated. "Excuse me, how big is that to you?" Just teaching ICT, you know, and forming ICT clubs in school. But that's how people see these small things that you do in communities like this. And to close, on this note, I like to say, if you do nothing, you're growing to become nothing. So take up your dreams today, wherever you have kept them, and begin to admire them, and begin to see the possibilities in every impossibilities. And everything and every time people tell you you can't do it, go back to your room and look at yourself, reflect, and truly see who are you, what are the strengths that you have in you. And like I said earlier, we are just too busy to reflect and think about how powerful we are and the kind of things that we can achieve.